This is Charlie giving you Monday's market commentary. I hope you're very well. Just to start off with, if you missed it last week, if you missed the webinar, which was on Thursday, then just come to our homepage here at easytrader.com, scroll across, and you can go to the webinar tab, click on webinars, and there it is. You can just, it's the first anniversary review, watch it now. If you scroll down, then you've got the previous ones. There's a webinar from January, I think we did, and then you've got the previous two down here that we did on the 10k to 100k, but certainly this one I just did last Thursday was there. Many thanks for a lot of your kind comments regarding that webinar, and so that's all good. If you have missed it, there you go. That's how you can see it. Now we've got actually something coming up with ETX. We'll let you know about in the coming week probably with ETX Capital. So watch this space regarding that. Right, okay, so euro dollar, let's start off with, go straight into the market commentary today. I think that this is the daily charts. I think we're looking at 137 on the downside as a downside sort of initial level that it may want to go to, and I think it could come down to this daily 200 ultimately. So I'm looking for effectively more downside on the euro dollar now. Now I don't know whether the euro dollar is going to bounce first and come higher. It's done a little bounce into the end of last week, small one, and then a small one this morning, and then it's just rolled over this morning on the PMI figures. So I'm not entirely sure whether that's it as yet, but certainly overall that's what I'm looking for. 137, then potentially down to this daily 200 moving average. So if I'm looking for that on the euro, what am I looking for on the pound? The pound's just sort of trying at the moment to come back into its bands on the dailies. It's a little bit different to the euro dollar. It could just hold a little bit here, and if it does hold, then I'd be looking for the pound to run up to 165.50 in the next couple of days. That's if it can close within the bands today. If it doesn't close within the bands, if it closes down, then all bets are off in that regard. But that's how I'd be looking at the pound, slightly differently to that of the euro dollar. The Aussie dollar's holding up well. I've been looking for, actually on eSignal, it's already showing that it's hit the daily 200 here on telecharts, but on eSignal it's not actually hit that daily 200 yet. So you always get little disparities between charting packages. So we're looking at around about 91.40. So it's only 30 pips above where we currently are, as being where that daily 200 is, and I think that's where it wants to go to. I've been saying it for a while to our traders. So looking for a bit more upside there on the Aussie dollar. And then lastly the dollar yen, which is the one that's a little bit more tricky. See if I can find it down here. Where are you? So I'm just trying to find it on the watch list off screen. There it is. Now the dollar yen, it's just doing battle with this daily 50 at the moment, which is a good thing. So it's trying to get above it and probably close above it. Again, slightly different moving average on my eSignal charts, but nevertheless, it came down. It looked like a lot of people were looking for this to then break, but it's sort of holding here. So I need to double check this monthly chart again. Just sort of holding within the bands here on the monthlies. It's a tough call because really it should want to come down to the lower band, and that may be what it wants to do going into the early part of next month, that come down and retest this lower band on the monthly, which is going to be somewhere above, just above 100. So that's normally what would happen, but then also just above at about 107 is a monthly 200, which I think would be quite a nice level for it if it wanted to come up. So it's right slap bang in the middle of these at the moment, and it's a case of, well, which way does it want to go? So if it can stay above the daily 50, then I'll start looking for a push back up to the 104.50 and then potentially up to that 107 level. So some nice levels there on the dollar yen. We've just got to get a little bit more confirmation here on the dailies, see if it can hold up here above this daily 50, and certainly that on the eSignal. And then we can then start to say, okay, well, if it stays up here, then we need to then be playing long side plays. If it goes back below, then we know short side plays, and down to the about 101.30 zone it is. That's me pretty much done. I could have a quick look at the market indices. I mean, you look at the S&P, it's still holding up at the highs. It's done a double top as of late last week, but it's a tough call at the moment, the way it's sitting up here. So I can't really say too much. At the end of the day, it's still holding up until it materially starts to roll over. At the moment, we haven't even seen an 8 and 21 cross. So until it, so once we maybe see those cross, then it gives a little bit more confirmation. But as yet, it hasn't. This could just be a kiss goodbye move against this old trend line, and actually it's going to roll over. But let's just wait for a little bit more confirmation. Right. So have a quick look at the Dow. Yeah, the Dow's in a completely different sort of zone to that of the S&P, so we'll leave it at that. I could go through so many more different charts. We've got like the dollar index here. It's having a nice bounce for a couple of days. Is this about to continue, or is it about to roll over? If it rolls over, then we'd see the euro dollar then come back up again. I think this is going to continue. I think that euro dollar is going to weaken off for a bit, but I'm still ultimately looking for euro dollar to come back up to 140, but not just yet. Right, I'll leave that with you. Have a fab week. I'm not here on Friday. I'm away, so Friday and Monday. So I'll be back in touch a week on Friday. Have a good one.